Hello, I'm Andre Harris, your host of What is My Purpose, and today we're meeting with unique individuals that have all made a contribution to their community, and so we just want to visit with one another and find out what each individual has offered in building their community over the years. Sir, what is your name?
My name is Danny Gonzalez.
Danny, can you give us a brief profile of who Danny Gonzalez is and what you did for a living here in the community?
Yes, I'm originally from Derby, Kansas, and I came to Salina. And when I came to Salina, I worked at St. John's for 15 years. And then after that, we merged with Asbury, and I worked there for 15 years. So altogether, I worked 30 years at the hospital. My first job was in pediatrics. I worked there for 15 years at St. John's, and I loved it and enjoyed it very much. And I also worked at Asbury Hospital for 15 years. I worked as an assistant in physical therapy, and I did work on the floors.
So, Danny, it seems to me like you helped a lot of people over the years, and God has truly been blessing you, and that's a wonderful thing. But as someone that has always helped other people, what would you encourage our viewers to do if they desire to help someone, but they're figuring, oh, no, nobody wants me to help them?
Oh, I don't believe that. People do need your love and your care because it means so much to them, and it just seems like so many times that people get shown away, and they deserve the love and the care that we can offer to them.
If anyone ever shunned you away, Danny, how did you respond?
Well, I don't believe that anybody ever has shunned me. There's just so many people that were so kind to me when I was working, and the workers were terrific, and I enjoyed my job very, very much.
Well, I think that's what made the other people terrific, Danny, because you enjoyed doing your job. It made their job as easy as possible, and I thank you, Danny.
Thank you.
Ma'am, what is your name?
Pamela Price.
And Mrs. Price, can you give us a brief description of who Mrs. Price is and what you did for a living?
Well, I'm a very caring person, and I love working with the elderly and handicapped.
Now, what were the names of any facilities you worked through?
Well, the ones here in Salina were Windsor Estates, Salina Nursing Care, let's see, Shalimar, Kenwood View.
And for one of our viewers that struggle with perhaps wanting to be a caregiver or perhaps wanting to return to school to be a nurse's aide or a registered nurse, how would you encourage them, since they have a heart for people, how would you encourage them?
Don't let people tell you you can't do something. Anybody can do something to get ahead, and with me, people have shunned me because of my race, but it makes me try harder.
Now, when you say it makes you try harder, does that mean that you saw an obstacle but you turned it into an opportunity?
Yes.
Okay, so what seemed like an apparent setback actually was a setup for you to have a comeback, huh?
Yes, it was.
That's awesome. Now, in giving just a, how shall I say, giving just a little brief advice to a young lady that is being challenged in these economical times, how would you encourage them to go forth and look for a job or either enroll in school to get a vocation?
One thing, finish high school and study on your own. But you have to want to do something and not give up. And make a very good effort to work.
That's great advice. Thank you very much. Hi, ma'am, and what is your name?
My name is Lana Falk.
Okay, Miss Lina, can you describe for us, please, what you have done over the years in the community to build relationships as well as make a contribution to your community?
Well, I worked at McDonald's restaurant. In fact, I've worked at practically about all of them. And the one thing that I found out, because you get to meet a lot of people, and you might not always remember their name, but you can take and, remember by what they got. And if I learned too also that if you take and somebody, is real angry at you or something, the way I figured, well, I'm going to show them that I care and not get angry back at them. So that's the way I did that. And then also I worked at, I delivered newspapers, and there was the Salina Journal, and there was this one guy one time on my paper route that it was slick out, and he had fell on his porch, and so I helped him get back into his place so he called somebody. I didn't have time to stay and take care of him, but I checked later to make sure he was okay. I called his wife, and then I went into nursing homes, and I've taken gifts before. And just visited with them, because people in a nursing home, some people don't want to go visit them, but I think that people need people, and so I like to go in and just visit with people and show them that people care. And also then I was a caregiver for my mother, and this takes a lot of patience, and sometimes I didn't have much patience, but it's just knowing you're helping somebody to take care of them and, maybe make them survive a little bit longer at home instead of going into a nursing home.
It seems like your parents raised you with some tremendous values and principles. And as you begin to continue your career in whatever profession it was, it seems that you were very disciplined at using your principles and how you cared, and you saw some people that were angry and you gave them love in return, and I imagine that helped their day, if not just for that moment, but you're very outspoken as far as what you've done in the community as being a people person, and I perceive you have a servant's heart when you mentioned the nursing home ministries and people going into nursing homes just to reach out to those that are in need of hope and in need of care. And so, and before we continue the interview with Ms. Sherry, would you like to encourage a young person or a viewer, period, as to what they could do if they feel as though that they cannot help anyone, but there's an opportunity for them to help someone somewhere? What would you say?
Well, I'd say that no matter whether you're believe in God or not, you should there's always the opportunity, because there's always people that need love. And so if you take and show them that you care, I think this is a way, and that they can do things, that this is a way to maybe make them, go on with life then.
Well, it seems that you had a great input in the community with the influence of being someone in leadership, whether it was in customer service, sales, or even in the nursing home visiting with others. And we thank you, Lina.
Thank you.
Ms. Sherry, can you tell us a little bit about Ms. Sherry?
Well, I am Sherry Pretzer, and I've been in Salina for quite some time. I was in the Saline County Extension Office, where we were nutrition aides. We traveled all over the city of Salina and contacted people. We helped those people learn things that they didn't know how to do. The program was really an excellent program. It shut down after 25 years of being in Salina, and it was really something that you reached out to people that didn't know things, and were just, needing to have someone come along and help them with different things. And after that closed down, I did a number of different things, and then I come along and joined in with a school group that is, I was out at Coronado School, and I was in with the little kids in Coronado School, and I have always been a person that just loves children, and the program that I was with was called Foster Grandparent Program. Everybody'd say, well, how many foster children do you have? Well, it wasn't the foster children I had, it was the children that I would go in and visit and be with and help. And I have 5 grandchildren of my own, and I really enjoy them. I do have I have 2 great-grandchildren, and they're very, very special. They tug at my heart all the time. But yes, I really enjoy being around people. We have a good group here in this building with each other. We are just always out drinking coffee and talking and listening to all kinds of things.
And that's what it's about, making memories as you build the community. And, as I look around the table and observe you all, when people see you out in public, they say, oh, that's just an ordinary person. But to sit here and talk with you all are quite extraordinary. You bring tremendous blessings to anybody's life. And, Danny, as you've done for the many, many years in the, in the hospital industry, is that you offered a lot of people love, hope, and kindness, and that's a great gift. Pam, as you did caregiving in the nursing homes and, just in family members' lives, that's a tremendous blessing. And Lina, as you've worked in customer service as far as McDonald's and with Salina Journal, even that gentleman who slipped on the porch that day, it was a blessing in disguise that you were there, because if no one was around, who knows what could have happened. And Miss Sherry, you leave all of you all leave a lifelong legacy in the community, because without love and care and unity, with the diversity in the world today, and how the economy challenges us, it's just a tremendous thing to see that, you all are still just tugging along, getting up and getting with it. And that's a tremendous blessing. So as we close this, this interview, I'd like to, first of all, give an honor to God, who's the author and finisher of our faith and the author of our salvation. And I'd also like to thank the United States, the men and women and the veterans in the United States military and those that have served over the years. And we just want to thank you all for spending time with our viewers today, and you all have a great weekend. Thank you.
Thank you.
What company did you work for as a healthcare provider?
I worked for visiting nurses.
You recently do volunteer work through some retail store. Can you tell us about that volunteer work that you do?
For CJ Banks at Central Mall, when they have new arrivals, I'm a greeter for the customers coming in.
Mary, what did you do for a living?
I was a certified nurse assistant, a home health aide, and lastly, a child care provider.
Miss Mary, if you had any words to encourage a young person or anyone, what would you tell that person to inspire them?
To give their life to God.
That's an awesome answer. If you had two people to thank, who would those two people be?
Carla Carter and Gloria Ford.
Thank you very much for your time, Ms. Wellington, and we're thankful that you give God all the glory.
I'm up there to do the auction because she's on auction sometimes.
See the dad